Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and today we are continuing along in our book Bushido, The Way of the Samurai. Anyway, we are doing the author's introduction. This is um, a short little section. Well, it's 6 pages. It's not uber long, but it'll give us a look into um, everything here. I believe this was words from Yamamoto that Toshida had copied down before we actually get into uh, the books of Bushido. This is all I'm going to read today, so here we go. As a retainer to this Nabashima clan, you must devote yourself toward the studies of your own country. But now, the need for this study has dropped from the eye of every samurai. The general drift of clan studies is to trace the history of a particular clan back to its foundation. By following the general drift, we can credit the present prosperity of our household to its founders, to the benevolent and courageous mind of Gochu, to the deeds and faith of Riso. For by name, for by the virtue appeared was born Takanobu and Nippo Nabashima. Due to their power and authority, our clan has been prosperous and secure, and it has had no equal up to the present time. The samurais of this clan have completely forgotten to uphold this kind of cause. Instead, they value Buddhas belonging to other places. I, for my own part, am quite dissatisfied with this fact, since Confucius, Buddha, Kusanagi, and Shingon have never served our clan. It is needless to say that their teachings must inevitably fall short of the manners and customs of our own tradition, both at the time of plain clothes, peace, and at the time of helmets and armor, war. It is sufficient for both high and low to revere the founders and their offspring so we can learn from their examples. Then we, present samurais of the clan, will be able to manage everything without fail. As people are supposed to revere their respective idols and their principal images in their own way, then, as far as serving the Nabeshima clan is concerned, there is no need to learn any other branch of knowledge other than the studies of our clan at any other place. Once you have mastered the practices and habits of your own clan, you can learn other ways as a pastime for your own amusement. But when you come to think of it, there is not a problem that cannot be solved with the help of this knowledge of our own clan. Those who neglect this study of our own country would not be able to give a word of reply to such questions asked it by members of other clans as what is the history of the Nabashima clan? Or how was your clan established? Or you have been reputed to be the best spear thrusters, warrior samurais, in Japan. And what are the details of your distinguished military service? The duty of each member who serves this house is none other than that he should carry out his respective official responsibility. However, most of the members, on the contrary, may find pleasure in other topics and dislike their own office. Consequently, they put the cart before the horse and blunder grossly. The good examples of service are Nippo and Katsuhige, the First Lord. During their time of rule, each subject applied himself to performing his own duty. From the high, they sought for useful subjects. From the low, the samurais were eager to be of service. In this manner, the minds of the lords and those of the samurais were connected. For this reason, the power of the household was cumulative and grew great. The efforts, pains, and labor on the part of Nepo were too much to tell. He cut a bloody trail and frequently made himself ready for harakiri. But by some wondrous chance, he finally succeeded in making his household stand on his own. Likewise, Katsuhige, later the First Lord, met with an occasion in which he came very close to harakiri, but he finally became the First Lord. He, in person, took the head and in the working of bow and arrow, the rule of the samurais in the house, the government of the country, and the administration of strategy points, fortresses. He even organized miscellaneous duties. He firmly believed in Buddha and the gods. After his retirement, he sat among waste paper for the rest of his life and wrote a book. He said, "If I think little of the household that Nepo established, it would be quite irresponsible of me. I must take care that it goes on prosperously for the generations to come. Now that the time is peaceful and quiet, our society is on the way to becoming luxurious. It is unprepared for this, for the ways of the bow and arrow. It is becoming proud. Accordingly, there arise many blunders. The high and low both get hard up, and this is the discredit to the clan both within and without. These kinds of blunders will undermine the overthrow of the house. The veteran samurais have died out. The youth follow this trend, follow the trend of this day alone. So if I could hand down something in writing, perhaps they might learn the tradition and the spirit of this clan by referring to the book. Of course, the book it was intended to be a secret one, but I, i.e., the author of Hagakure, have heard elders speak about this book. The rumor is that it is a book of tactics called Kachikuchi, the key to victory, and it was orally passed down at the time of inheritance. It is also said that two other books, Shicho Hakushisho and Senko San were handed down firsthand. Katsuhige also made notes on the following: on the customs of the house and the disposition of affairs with the shogunate, central government. He also made detailed rules about home administration. Boundless efforts they were. By his merits, the house can enjoy today's security and everything looks quite auspicious. Therefore, and this may sound very disrespectful, the present Lord, the fourth Lord, Yoshishige, may, by reminding himself of the endeavors and pains of the founder, Naoshige, and the first Lord, Katsushige, and also by at least perusing the writings he inherited, would do well to strengthen his resolution to govern the state earnestly. Since he has been flattered and indulged as a young lord successor, and has experienced no hardship and trials, and has no knowledge of his own clan, he tends to have his own way in everything and neglects his own duty as a lord. And a lot of unnecessary reformations have taken place in the last few years. The establishment of the clan has been weakened. Taking advantage of this situation, shrewd and smart people with competitive minds, but without experience, have devised many ideas so as to insinuate themselves into the favor of the Lord. Ideas whereby they act important and do what they like arbitrarily and make a mess of things. Here are some examples of the mess they have created: strife between the three branch families, establishment of new offices next in rank to the chief retainers, employment of members of other clans, changes in the organization of the reserve samurais, exchange of residences, newly appointed elders responding in rank to the relatives of the Lord's family, the demolition of the via Koyoken that Lord Katsuhige constructed, revision of the criminal code, rearrangement of the status of shrines and temples, building of a new via, reckless change in the formation of light-legged soldiers, arrangement and disposition of equipment, the destruction of the West Via, etc. Every item is a failure as a result of the Lord's attempt to bring these new-fangled matters into effect. But thanks to the firm establishment on the part of the founders, no instance of misrule has ever shaken the foundation of our clan. If only both the high and low remain faithful to the directions of Lord Naoshige and Katsushige, the clan will be strong and peacefully organized and governed in such a way that every member feels content, no matter how clumsily affairs may be carried on. There has not been a foolish lord in the clan, nor an evil lord, and each has been counted as one of the best lords in Japan. This is miraculously fortunate. This is a miraculously fortunate family, thanks to the faith of each lord. Also, no samurai has been driven out of this land. No outsiders have ever been accepted or employed. Even if they are samurai, did Ronin, they were allowed to stay within the territory, and the sons and grandsons of samurai who were told to do harakiri were also allowed residence in this land. Since you were, since you are born through some wondrous chance into the clan in which benevolence and loyalty are very deep, everyone, to say nothing of the farmers and merchants, is greatly indebted to the clan beyond any verbal description. In view of this fact, the firmly be firmly resolved to offer yourself in your service so that you can make up for the favor, privilege of being a member of this clan. And if the Lord patronizes you, prove yourself useful by throwing away your self-mind. Even if you are ordered to do either Ronin or Harakiri, take it as a form of service and convince yourself that you shall inevitably die and be born again out of the depths of the mountain or from under the ground only in order to work for the clan. His is the first requirement of the Nabashima samurais and the pith and marrow of us. It is indeed inadequate for a monk, bonze, which I now am, to say that I have never looked forward to nirvana. Only it is deeply ingrained in my liver that I should be born again into this Nabashima clan every time I have another incarnation so that I can do service to this clan. For Nabeshima samurais, no spirit and no talent is necessary so long as you have the ambition to shoulder the whole clan by yourself, so to speak, to carry the burden alone if necessary. Can can any individual be inferior to another individual? You cannot carry out your mastery of service if you are not proud. Your mastery will not bear fruit if you don't go about with the intention of securing the house on your own. Perhaps like hot water in a kettle, your resolution may become cooler. There is a way to keep it hot. Our unique vows are: 1. Never lag behind in the practice of Bushido. 2. Always be loyal and devoted in the service to your Lord. 3. Do your duty to your parents. And 4. Stir up your compassion for all sentient beings in order to devote yourself to the service of others. These are the keys. Recite these 4 vows while praying to the gods and Buddha. Then you will not run backwards, but you will be able to double your power and energy. You will go ahead inch by inch like a measuring worm. Even the Buddha and the gods decided on vows before they initiated their pursuits. And that is the end of the introduction by Yamamoto, which brings us to book 1. I'm going to end it there for today. As always, educate thyself, think, read, study, learn. And tell people to cite their sources. If they can provide the sources that, aren't propaganda, wonderful. If they are propaganda, prove it to them. Cite your sources. But we've got to end this era of believing false information. Anyway, as always, I'll see you in the next video. But until then, later.